Alrighty guys, hello. Follow-up video is required. This is going to be a short one, but I need to give some commentary on the situation with the larceny slash thievery slash stolen parts slash couple videos that were shorts that I made where I called people some scumbags. The problem is we need to stop the theft. And the thieves were the scumbags that I was referring to. If you missed those videos, listen, I'll put a link to them down in this video's description. And in the pinned comment, I'll link both of them. But I called some people some scumbags, and I'm gonna double down. You guys are double scumbags. The issue that we were finding is that there are very hard to find rare parts for this Ford 9.75 inch rear differential that I'm in the middle of rebuilding. These are hard to get parts. Consequently, since they're hard to get, I assume because this is a limited slip differential and it's in a two-wheel drive, it was probably an option for the truck only. So they're hard to get, and because they're hard to get, they're a little bit more expensive. Now you factor in some thievery and some larceny and some inflation, and you end up with $185 bearings. So naturally, since we're all used to buying like $40 bearings, when someone's got to buy a $185 bearing, they're really not happy about that. And I wasn't happy about it when I bought this bearing myself. The problem is I made this order and it came sourced from a parts store that is not local to me. These are not the people that I do business with. It's another parts store in another part of the state. And since it's in the network, when I ordered those parts, they were transferred from store A to my store and then delivered here to me at my repair facility. Now the problem is when I unboxed some of those old seals, or actually they were new seals, somebody had taken this seal, driven it into an axle, and then realized they had to take it back out. So they took it back out with a screwdriver and a hammer, destroyed the actual seal, then they put it back in the box and then returned it to the store. Now this is where the controversy showed up, because I called those people scumbags. And I called them DIY scumbags because I'm of the opinion that that kind of stuff happens more on the home gamer side than it does the professional shop side. I do understand that people do commit those types of fraud and thievery and larceny in the shop. I understand that shops do that. But I'm of the opinion that it's not as widespread as it is on the retail side, because shops have to maintain a relationship with their parts suppliers. And if you start sending back a bunch of stuff to your parts supplier, the parts supplier is going to look at the shop and go, hey, you're stealing from us. We're going to stop selling to you, or we're going to stop taking in your returns. Now, that being said, again, I realize that there are shops that do rebox old parts and send them back, or they break new parts during installation, then they send it back as warranty or defective. And it's the same thing. You broke it, you bought it, and that's how it is. Whether you're a shop, you're a manager, you're a dealership, or you're the DIY guy fixing some stuff in your backyard. And all of those scenarios are fine to work on your car, but what's not fine is when you send your parts back that you were responsible for, that you bought, and it goes back into the pipeline. Now again, the controversy shows up when I'm working at the parts desk and some guy brings me these boxes and say, hey, I want to return these. And I go, okay, well, you know, I probably don't get paid very much and I probably don't like this job. So am I going to sit here and am I going to pick through each one of those boxes and then have an argument with a customer at the service desk over an $8 seal? It's probably a better situation for the store to just double down on their no questions asked return policy and give the person their money back, because it's really not worth the fist fight or the shooting or the vandalism or the really bad image that the rest of the customers in the line are going to see when we got an employee and a customer fighting over a return. Do I think it's right? No, they shouldn't be doing it. However, I can see why they would go ahead and just take those parts back and give the guy their refund. But that doesn't mean that you get to just take that thing and put it back on the shelf and then sell it to me or Joe Schmo down the road or anybody else or whoever. It doesn't matter. If you're going to bite the bullet and let somebody take advantage of you at your sales desk, you can't resell the parts to somebody else, especially when you pull them out of the box and they're very clearly destroyed. Because what that does is it puts this car on this rack 4 or 5 extra days behind schedule. It takes up my service stall. So now I'm losing out and my customers are losing out because some guy decided he was going to steal some parts, put them back in the box and return them. And then the second failure occurred when the guy at the parts counter accepted the return. Then the third failure occurred when those same parts people put it back on the shelf. And the fourth failure occurred when they deliver it. And now you guys in the comments, you were telling me, hey, Ray, well, you need to, check your boxes at the counter when you order them and do this. I shouldn't have to do that. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to scrutinize every single little box that comes into the building until I'm ready to open up that box, because now I'm doing your job for you, and I don't believe I should have to do that, and I'm not going to do that, because that's not what I do here. I order parts, you guys send me parts, I take parts, I sell parts, I install parts, and the circle of life continues. But I'm not alleviating the responsibility of the parts store. However, given the flavor of corporate America, I can see why they would take them in. But that doesn't mean you have to try to resell them to somebody else, because now you are just as responsible for the larceny as the original offender, which is the shop that was crooked, or the DIY guy that didn't want to pay the money, or the person that made the mistake and thought that they were just going to let the parts store eat that. All of those scenarios are completely wrong. It's morally wrong, it's financially wrong, and like I said, down the road, it causes somebody else a major problem. The issue is this is like a double down problem, because I need to put this car on this rack, but I can't use this rack because this car is stuck on this rack, and it's stuck because somebody was stealing, somebody was reboxing parts, they were making fraudulent returns, and then somehow, some way, those fraudulent returns went back on the inventory shelf. Then they were shipped after I ordered them all the way across the state of Florida down here to Central Florida, and then brought over here to me. So we have suffered an incredible economic loss as a whole, because one guy was a fool and a thief and a liar and committed larceny. And then the next fool after that allowed it to happen. Then the next fool after that allowed that to happen. There is no checks and balances in our current system. And that doesn't only necessarily apply to the auto parts supply chain. This applies to everything, you guys. We have problems. We need to fix them. Let me know what you think about this little rant in the comment section down below. Am I right for getting pissed? Am I wrong for getting pissed? Did I blame the wrong person, or should I just blame everybody? What do you guys think? Let me know. Comment section down below. Do not forget to engage that like and subscribe button while you're down there. And have yourselves a fantastic day. See you guys later in a video, in a transmission.